Justin Herbert ranked among the top 10 quarterbacks, if not top 5. Keyshawn Johnson, should he be ranked that high?
Absolutely. He is a generational talent at the quarterback position. He is a long, tall drink of water with a rifle of an arm. I think when you look at a young career like you've seen, Justin Herbert has now been with 3 different offensive coordinators in a 4-year period of time. Okay, he's been in and out of the lineup with his receivers has been in and out of the lineup.
Yep.
Okay, Mike Williams stays hurt.
He does.
Keenan Allen, every now and then he comes back. He's still dominant, but he has hamstring issues. So when you start to look at it, Everett is a nice tight end, but he is not, he is not in the same class, obviously, as Kittle or Gronkowski or some of the other, Darren Waller at his times at the Raiders. So when you start to look at some, Austin Eckler's a good receiving running back out of the backfield. But when you look at everything with this young quarterback on his, I believe, 4th offensive coordinator in a short period of time, that's a lot to deal with. And he's still, as you like to say, putting up the numbers, doing everything. If you go back a couple years ago, I'll use one of your deals, Skip. You go back history a couple years ago in Kansas City, the guy is getting his ribs barbecued. He stays in the game. He fights through it. Everett is tired. He tries to come out. They didn't see him. He stays in. He's winded. He runs a poor route. Pick 6 going the other way. Otherwise, they're going in to win that game in Kansas City. So
that's ancient history.
No, I just did what you do.
Oh.
That's all. I just did what you do.
I just
go back,
did what you
go back and look at it. That's all I'm saying. So when you talk about him as a quarterback, I like him. I think he's being held back because of all the offensive coordinating changes. I mean, you think about the first year under Coach Lynn. Then the kid comes out of nowhere because they punctured the lung of Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden he's pushed into the starting lineup, goes on a nice historical run for a rookie QB. Then all of a sudden he's a new coordinator in Joe Lombardi. Now he's got Kellerman. I mean, it's just like you keep changing over and over and over. He hasn't had the luxury to have the same guy for 4 or 5 straight years. So I think in the end, I think he's going to be okay long term. I think he's going to be okay long term.
I think I agree with Key to a degree. He is a top 5 talent. He's a top 5 with the measurables and everything you talk about. You hear guys saying this is why Brock Purdy isn't in their top 5 or MVP candidate because he doesn't have these measurables.
True.
He's not a tall drink of water with a rocket for an arm and can make all the throws from all the arm angles and the arm talent and this and that. But he's a winner. And at the end of the day, you look at Justin Herbert's 27-27 career record, and you look at his play in these games when he has a clean pocket, when he has Keenan Allen running open and he misses them. And then he has Keenan Allen running open again and he misses them. And you can say he stood strong in the pocket. He did have pressure in his face. As Skip said, he had they gave up 18 pressures.
Yep.
But when he had time, feet set, missed throws. And in the playoffs, he did not execute at a high level. And you could say the same thing about Tua Tagovailoa, about different coordinator after coordinator after coordinator after head coach. But we don't give him that excuse. At the end of the day, it's a production business. And he's got a lot of yards. I think he's amongst the all-time leaders at his age for yards per season, yards overall, et cetera, et cetera. But again, the wins aren't there. So the statistics, the padding of the stats are there, but winning the games are not. And you talk about a guy like Brock Purdy again, who doesn't have that kind of arm talent in the league. And it's like the wins don't matter. The stats don't matter. Nothing matters because he doesn't have the measurables of a Justin Herbert, of a Patrick Mahomes, of a Joe Burrow. But his production, his winning is there. And so I think we got to start judging him by the wins and losses, and he's not getting it done.
Well, of course you judge by wins and losses, and we're coming up on that judgment day. Right? And what I mean by that is if this continues to happen with the Chargers, at some point, they're going to start to point to him, not Brandon Staley, because Brandon Staley will be fired here in a little while if they keep going down this road.
That is true.
So people are going to start to say, okay, we done got rid of Coach Lynn. We done got rid of Brandon Staley.
Yep.
This dude is not the answer if they don't take it to the next level. You can't, as a starting quarterback in the National Football League, go through 3 and 4 different head coaches and still survive. It just it doesn't work that way. So I agree with you, Richard. The W's is what matters. I'm just talking about his skill set and his ability to be what the league wants at the quarterback position. He fits all the modes, and that's why I believe long term they'll get the right call at the head coaching position.
So I thought of both of you often during last night's game, because if I had been tables turned, if I had bet on Justin Herbert a Beverly Hills dinner, I would have been screaming and throwing things at my TV, because Justin Herbert, once again, was not consistently accurate throwing the football. Obviously, he's got the rocket arm. I'm not sure anybody can throw it harder on a line for 20 yards than this kid can. And all the measurables are off the charts. And if you want to talk about top 5 measurables, you got me. But on command of the position, of poise and feel for the game, for playing that position the way you need to feel it and play it and sort of massage to get a game home like the one that they blew at Jacksonville in the playoffs. I don't see those kind of intangibles in him. Maybe they're in there somewhere, but I didn't see him at Oregon. I did not love him coming out in the draft. I get
my top quarterback coming out in the draft.
Was he? Well, I didn't see it. And I watched him a whole lot at Oregon. And in the bigger games, he would struggle and throw weird off-target interceptions. The way he was throwing the ball off target last night, you guys got to admit, he was throwing rockets to nowhere. So how many times?
He did not deliver the football in sync at all. He had Keenan Allen open twice.
Did he?
He missed him on the sluggo because he missed him on the sluggo because Keenan got so open so fast that he hurried his throw. He didn't stand in and just wait a few seconds later to make sure to get the football where it needed to go.
Did he have any air underneath it?
No, because he rushed the throw. When you rush the throw, you're just trying to get it there. You know, and that happens, though, Skips, when you beat the defender so quickly, the quarterback's not ready to throw. He thinks he's running out of time, and he just delivers the football. There's no excuse for not figuring out how to get it to him. But at the end of the day, ask the Dallas Cowboys, would they rather have him or Dak Prescott?
No, I think they'd rather have Dak.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that would be the case. I don't think so.
It's just the amount of value we're putting on arm talent and the measurables, because he does statistically have the numbers. So you talk about all time, the history of the game. He's amongst the top 3 in yards over however long he's been playing. So
short period of time.
Consistently, you can't, which is a short period of time, but you can't say that his offensive coordinators are the problem, because he's getting the yards, he's getting the numbers, his numbers are there. But in crucial situations in these games, he's just not winning. And even when he has the weapons, he has a healthy Keenan Allen, he has a healthy Mike Williams, he has a healthy Austin Eckler, a healthy Everett. He's not winning the games. And you could say his defense isn't playing good enough, and that may or may not be true. But at the end of the day, for better or for worse, wins and losses are a quarterback stat. And they're giving them to the quarterback, whether he deserves them or he doesn't deserve them. And he's not winning these games. Brock Purdy, does he deserve credit for every win they're getting? Does he deserve credit for every loss they're getting? Maybe, maybe not. But he's going to get the credit, and he's going to get the wins, and he's going to get the loss. And so I need him to win more games. I need him to take his team to the playoffs. And Joe Burrow did it with great receivers and nobody blocking for him. A bunch of janitors blocking for him, and took his team to the Super Bowl.
He did.
And he had every excuse in the world. Oh, I got sacked 9 times in the playoffs. I'm getting beat up. He got his ribs beat up too. Keith, but he found a way to get it done.
I understand that, Richard. My point, though, is when you're talking about a young quarterback, you cannot just bury him in a short period of time. His talent is so great that you have to give him an opportunity. You say lead his team to the playoffs. Well, he's gone to the playoffs. That's not the issue. One of the main issues is you're also in a division with Kansas City. So it's going to be now maybe you can make up some ground here in the future with Kansas City. But as of right now, you're in a division with Kansas City. Kansas City won the division 5, well, more than that, but they've gone to the AFC Championship game 5 straight times from your own division. You've had a consistent head coach in Kansas City in Andy Reid. He's gone through a couple head coaches, okay? first-time head coaches in Coach Anthony Lynn. Then all of a sudden, another first-timer in Brandon Staley who does some weird stuff at times throughout the games to put your quarterback in bad positions. And I understand, hey, the coordinators are calling plays because you're getting the yardage, you're getting statistical numbers. He's just not making the throws at the right time when they need him the most. It's still early in his career, though.
I'm not giving you first-time head coaches because Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa, first-time head coach. You talk about Taylor and Cincinnati, first-time head coach. There are young quarterbacks with first-time head coaches having success. At the end of the day, sometimes we got to just stop giving him excuses and look at the man and be like, maybe in crucial situations he's not like that.
Well, that may be the case.
Expectations are low, when things are good, and it doesn't matter because he's still in a division with the Denver Broncos, who have been struggling the last couple of years. I mean, historically struggling. You talk about the Raiders; they've been struggling. So you can talk about Kansas City. That's 2 games a year, but the other 4 are against teams that you should be able to beat, that your quarterback talent should overcome for your team, and that hasn't been happening. And I just get frustrated.
And they've been going to the playoffs out of that division behind Kansas City.
So Keyshawn.
No,
Well, they went last year, better yet.
Yeah, they did go last year. So Keyshawn, if you watch this kid, you'll see 2 or 3 throws a game that will take your breath away because even Mahomes or Josh Allen or name them, they can't throw it quite the way this kid can throw it.
Maybe Josh Allen.
No, when he's right, when he throws a 105-mile-an-hour fastball 20 yards on a line on a dime into somebody's breadbasket, you say, whew, that's unstoppable. And then he's off target, and he's off target. What is the number one factor for success at that position? It's just accuracy. I don't care what you say.
But I'm not going to say he's as inaccurate as you are portraying him to be. Now, he does miss some throws, but all the quarterbacks in the league miss throws, man.
Yeah,
they all do. I can point to, you can take Patrick Mahomes. He misses throws.
Sure he does.
Joe Burrow misses throws. And they all miss.
This guy is hot and cold, and when he goes cold, it's last night. But
they find a way to win, and that's the difference, Keyshawn. That's the big difference.
That in a minute. I already said in a minute.
Yeah.
People are going to start to look at him at the quarterback spot, and he's going to get the tag. You can't win with this guy. That's the tag he's going to get. You cannot win with this guy.
It is time to talk Micah 11 from heaven. Did Micah finally redeem himself at the end of last night's game?
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.